Morning, Happy New Year, and welcome to our first edition of No Covers, the Inner City Wake Up Call. Coming to you out of Wilmington, North Carolina. We call this place the Cave, and we're so glad to be here this morning to welcome you into the new year. This is our morning first edition, our morning talk show. We'll be coming to you every morning at 7:30 on time. We'll be coming every morning to share some enlightenment with you, to pump your day up, to give us in Wilmington a little a breather from some of the things that's going on, and to give us some inspiration every morning to go out here and try to, as we say, keep running. We use that term a lot, keep running, because we're still trying to get there. We're trying to make it there as a unit, as a community. We're trying to grow in this community together. We're trying to push unity, peace, love, and as Don Kennedy used to say, peace, love, soul, and happiness. Really trying to strive to make our word bond and do the things we need to do as a people and unify together. So the way this format is going to work this year, we're going 365 days, and hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have some sponsors where we can take this show to another level. But you have to start running somewhere. We want a talk show every day. We want a talk show that's going to be informative every day. We're going to provide our people with what's going on to the city. I've heard so many times is we don't have a black business directory. We don't have an events calendar. We don't have a way that we can connect and contact with each other. So as No Covers, I said, well, you know what? Sometimes we can talk about what we don't have, and then we can sit down and try to produce what we have and work with what we've got to make something better and bigger for our city of Wilmington and for the community at large, and really for the national community, because I think the show is really going to go out further than that, because every inner city needs a wake-up call in today's events and today's things that are going on in life. So what we're going to do here, we have a black business directory now that we're working on. So every morning we're going to promote the black businesses of our area. We're going to promote us spending our dollar. We call it Turn That Green to Black. You're going to hear that term over and over again in the next year. It's called Turn That Green to Black. It's a movement that we started several months ago. And it just simply means turn your dollar back into the black community. Start spending with those who spend with you. Start working with those businesses who work with your community. And start supporting these black, young and old black business owners that are trying to strive to do something for us in our community to make it better. And we're going to put our dollars in their hands and hope they reinvest those dollars back with us. We're going to have business seminars and business classes that will help each of us trying to formulate business or trying to operate our business to operate them better. So look forward to that from our Black Business Directory. We have created a Black Business page, which we'll direct you to in the next week, that will list these black businesses where you can go and find and shop. Spend your dollars and turn that green to black. We also have an events calendar. We will be sponsoring an events calendar. And that doesn't mean it's exclusive and no one else can do it. We just have one, and we can combine notes. If you have an events calendar, or if you have a black business directory, we can join forces. Someone asked me the other day, and I told them, I said, it's okay if we've got 5 black business directory. You may miss something that I don't cover. If we have 5 business expos, if we have a black business expo every day, it's all right with me, as long as we're doing something and we're running in the right direction and running forward. So some of the events that's coming up this month in January, I was looking at the calendar this morning. We've got Rent the Runway coming in January the 9th. Big Blee is having a truck and talent show at the Coastline Convention Center coming January 10th. The Black Lives Matter meeting is 6 p.m. on January the 12th. That's going to be at the New Hanover County Library. And then on January the 16th, so far listed, I have the MLK breakfast. So that's Rip the Runway, Big B's Trunk and Talent Show, the Black Lives Matter meeting down at the library, and the MLK breakfast. Now, if you have an event that we need to list, call it in. That is at No Covers on Facebook, or either go to No Covers, NOO Covers at gmail.com. Send your event in. If you have a business that you need listed that you think we overlook once you see the directory, send it in to nocovers@gmail. We're going to still be taking businesses. We try to get everybody to get them in early so we can have a formidable list. However, but if we missed you, we don't want to overlook you, and we don't want to think you slighted. Send your business information in, and we at No Covers will post it and make sure that your business is listed and that we turn that green to black and start supporting you and your businesses as well. So again, that's nocovers@gmail.com. You can reach us every day so that we can update these events calendars, and we can update the list, and then we can continue to grow in our community. We will continue to the Can't Stop, Won't Stop Black History segment. We will post that on the Facebook page every morning as usual. And then we'll start talking about some of those Black History events that affect us in the city and affect us today on this 15 to 20 minute show. This show won't be long. It'll be 15 to 20 minutes every morning where we come to you every morning and give you some inspiration and give you some information that is valuable and help you to get along in this Wilmington community, and that way we can continue to build and continue to be stronger. And then as usual, I give you a morning message of hopefully of hope, but some of concern. And this morning's message has to do with the violence of our city, and probably for the next 1 or 2 weeks, the message is going to be how to deal with this violence that's going on in our city and how to turn this tide. How to get something positive out of something negative. That's what we have to try to figure out. And one of the things I've realized is that we don't, a lot of us in talking about the solutions for this violence, we don't want to deal with some of the hard cold facts of what's actually taking place when we look at this violence. This violence in the city is real. And I went to a meeting the other night, and I'm going to explain it to you this way. I went to a Black Lives Matter event the other night, and I explained it this way, and I'm very clear about this now. I believe it, and I'm serious about it. Our attention across the country has been focused on the police force, and it is an atrocity the way that black men have been gunned down, and black women have been gunned down by the police force of the United States. As No Covers, will continue to support any effort to change the climate, to change the culture of the police department. But let me make it clear where I stand on the police department. The police of this United States of America are doing exactly what they have been trained to do. That is not to excuse their behavior in any way. But if you hear me clearly, they are doing what they have been trained to do. The American governmental system is building prisons. It is doing what it has been trained to do. Nothing short of their training. They have been doing and trained to do exactly what they will continue to do. Because as long as they have been on the payroll of this country, they're going to continue to do what they have been trained to do. So me understanding that this is a war zone. Once I live in a war zone and I understand that I am at war with an enemy, I have to now turn my forces and attention to what I can control. I cannot control my enemy's training. I can't control my enemy's budget. I can't control my enemy's weaponry and what he has to work with. I can't control my enemy's mind. But what I can control is myself and the soldiers that I have in my rank and company. I can't control my children and I can't control my parents. So I choose as No Covers to focus on the children and the parents in my community versus not wasting, but spending my time controlling that I can't control. So therefore, if I'm in a war zone in Palestine and I have a child and he plays in a field and learns how to play, let's say, kickball, I teach my child how to kick the ball and run with his head looking down for landmines at the same time, because I don't want him to come home with one less leg. Do I make myself clear? When you're in a war zone, you have to train yourself and your family how to survive that war zone so that they don't come home with missing parts from the landmines or from the weaponry that the enemy has laid around for them to fall victim to. Therefore, I have to teach my son and daughter different tactics. Is it fair? No, but I'm in a war zone. There is nothing fair about being in war. I have to teach my child a different tactic at 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to teach my child a different tactic on what he says and what he doesn't say, and what he says to the other individual and then what they say, and the violence that they play on each other. I have to teach them that this is unacceptable behavior because I understand I'm living in a war zone, and in the war, he is the target of that war. I have to make sure he comes home at night to me safe. I have to teach my son that when the officer stops you at 3 o'clock in the morning, pick up your phone and call your father and tell him it's a 911 emergency. Therefore, I'm on the phone the same time the officer is talking to you, and anytime I can say, give me the phone and let me talk to him. Yes, even though my son is 27 years old, I still have to protect him in this war zone. Do I make my point clear this morning? Because I plan to make it every morning clear of what we're dealing with. In parenting my child, I have to teach him how to act and how to behave, because I know in this war zone, the enemy is looking for any slight behavior to make it an excuse to gun him down, to shoot him down, because he's been trained to do exactly what he is doing. So in that war zone, I now have to teach my child certain behaviors that someone else not living in a war zone doesn't have to teach their child. That's my short message for this morning. I continue that message of hope and violence because I want you to understand we can win this war, but we have to use the right methodology and we have to use the right language. We have to teach our children how to come home with one less leg, with one less arm, because that's what they're doing. They're teaching them how to come home exactly that way. We have to make sure they come home with their full body intact, that they don't lose a leg and they don't lose an arm and they don't lose a life from an enemy that's been trained to do exactly what they're doing. This is your Brothers No Covers. I wish you a happy new year. I hope you have a wonderful weekend coming up. This is Friday Juma for us Muslims. I hope everyone can make it out today to the mosque. And as always, as a Muslim, if you've never been to an Islamic service, you're always welcome to come with me. But this is not a station where I try to convert you. Whatever your faith is, I hope you invite me to your service as well. And I will come and attend and have service with you as well. Have a blessed weekend. Love your children. Tell them you love them. Tell them how proud you are of them. And tell them they're going to be something great in this life. And teach them how to survive this war. This is your Brother No Covers. Peace and blessings.